homemaker for 18 years who decided to take up first profession in airline industry, developing business for airlines that Delta, Singapore Airlines, and Ethiopian Airlines. 11 years later, she changed domain to join the Global Financial Services Giant Alliance in their Human Resources Department, which indeed was the beginning of a phenomenally successful and rewarding career for her. Today, works at Asma Capital as a strategic partner. She's highly qualified, having CIPD UK Associate, holds master degree in English literature, as well as applied psychology, and has a higher diploma in counseling from ICM and Oxford College London. A Toastmaster since 2004, has conducted several speechcraft programs in Bahrain for corporate organizations like BAPCO, Zain, and American Mission Hospital. A writer and poet, Rekha, she has scripted, directed, and curated plays in English in Bahrain. Please put a big round of applause and welcome DTM Rekha Houghton. Title, Understand the HR Perspective. DTM Rekha Houghton, the virtual platform is all yours.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, district officials, other fellow Toastmasters, and all the guests who have joined here. A very good morning to all of you. It's indeed an honor and a privilege when people wake up so early on a Friday morning to listen to you and be there on time. It really humbles you and you feel that all that you're doing is worthwhile. My co-panelists will be talking about writing up a CV and how to ace interviews. And I am going to focus on what is the HR perspective in recruitment, selection, and onboarding today. From 2019, the world has been challenged as never before with the pandemic sweeping up globally. So, what have been the challenges in recruitment? Technology has taken over recruitment. Virtual recruitment has become the mainstay of recruitment. It poses a challenge to HR because how do you get a sense of a person? How do you feel that this person will be a fit? And that's one aspect that HR is coming to terms with. There are many other digital means that is being used in recruitment, like chatbot, artificial intelligence to sift through CVs, even a virtual platform to conduct interviews, psychometric tests, and all these kind of things. But who are the people out there who are looking for a job? We have three categories. One is Gen Y, who have already been in a career, but still have found the need to move in order to grow and develop. And unfortunately, many have had to face the situation of losing a job. Gen Z, who's just come out, tech savvy, people who value causes, issues, who are just entering the market. And then the senior level, which needs to transition into a peak career before they move on to retirement. When you look at each of these segments, what is it that HR looks for in recruitment? How does HR look at or arrive at the position or the mental stage that this is the right person for the organization? Those two aspects I'm going to explore here. The two aspects to being fit into an organization or suitable for an organization, the main important thing that HR looks for is communication, and the second is attitude. Now, both of these encompass a whole lot of things in them. When we say communication, what do we mean by communication? Is the person able to articulate what he wants to express? Is the way he is communicating likable? Because one of the main things that we are humans after all, at the end of it, we need to like the person whom we are going to recruit. Likability is a huge factor. How likable are you virtually or offline to another human being? What makes you likable? Very often when we sit for interviews in HR, what we find is that the self-awareness of candidates is what is most lacking. Many a times I have asked this question to candidates, why should we hire you? And there comes the stumbling moment for almost 90% of the candidates. Why should we hire you? That's a direct question as to who are you? I want to know who are you? Will you fit into my organization? And very often people are not prepared for this question. It is just a question of sitting down and thinking about what are your strengths? What are the weaknesses? What are you capable of? Where do you aim to go? When you come for a job interview, you need to have this perspective right. Is language important? It is important that you are able to communicate well. Recently, we were hiring a CEO for an organization in the subcontinent. And we could see that the person had all the qualifications, had all the necessary expertise and experience, but he was more comfortable in the vernacular than in English. The shareholders were, it's a multinational company, the shareholders were from different parts of the world, and the language that bound them was English. And at that time, everyone said we need to include diversity, and we should be sure that we have to give him a chance. And I told my boss that all that is fine, but when you work with someone on a day-to-day basis, 24/7, if that person is not able to articulate, you will find yourself getting irritated with that person, and that's not fair. That's not fair on his capabilities. That's not fair on his future development. And rightly so, I don't like to say I was right, but rightly so, 6 months later, the chairman of the board called up and said that, can you somehow ensure that we can develop the communication skills? Now, 6 months had gone down. So communication in the language that is expected from you is important. Communicating in a warm, friendly way, being assertive, being able to put your points across is important. To a large extent, when I look at myself, it's Toastmasters who have shaped me as an HR professional, because you really, when you live as HR, you really don't know where the next question is coming from and from whom. Table topics really helps because you are chutzpah and you are ready with an answer. Even if it is to say that right now I'm not aware of it, but I shall come back to you. That requires a certain type of experience of having faced unexpected questions. Your posture while you sit for an interview, your body language, your attitudes come across when you are sitting for an interview. You learn those things consciously, that what is it that you want to project and adjust your body language accordingly. These are things which people are not aware of, and newcomers into the field are completely unaware of these things. But being in a forum like Toastmasters, it helps you form those habits as a second nature. Let me come to attitude. When I say attitude, what does it encompass? Attitude is the whole being of you, who you are, what is your habit, what is your personality like? Are you flexible? Is there an agility in you? Are you able to change according to circumstances? Now, how does HR come across or come to the conclusion that this person has the traits that HR is looking for in the interviews? In the interview questions, each of them designed to bring out your particular characteristics. And that is something DTM Floyd will explain to you as to how to answer those questions. But you must understand that when you are answering a question, it's not just the answer that you're giving. You are also revealing your own personality. And I'll tell you two stories. One is my favorite recruitment story, which is, of course, mine. 5 years ago, I was packing up to retire and go back to India when I got a call from a recruiter saying that there is a particular company which is looking for an HR manager. They have been looking for the past 1.5 years and they still haven't found anyone suitable. They have tried various methods, consulting, outsourcing, but still it hasn't worked out for them. Would you be interested? And I said, no, I'm not interested in changing my job. I'm ending my career. And he said, ma'am, it would be a good idea to meet them. And I said, I'll think about it. And I said, could you also tell them that I am not young, I'm old, and I don't want to come for an interview to be told that, oh, we were looking for somebody a little bit younger. And he said, I'll make sure of that. I had no intention of attending the interview. I went home and in the family chat, I casually said, hey, you know what? I was kind of headhunted today. And my daughter said, oh my God, what a compliment. Even if you don't want to take up the job, you should attend the interview. I went for the interview expecting a 15-minute conversation, zip in and zip out. And 1 hour later, I walked out with an offer letter. I met with the C-suite and they were able to convince me, and that was their expertise. But my boss later told me that what convinced them that I was the right person was that they had asked me the question that, as an HR professional, what is the most important thing for you? And my reply was, and always is, that as an HR professional, for me, the dignity and respect that I give to every single employee while recruiting, onboarding, and most importantly, when they are exiting, to the last minute that they are my employee, the respect and dignity I give those employees, that is what is most important to me. And he said that that really zapped us. So it is who you are that will take you to the job. And I will just, before I end, I will start, narrate another story that we were recruiting a CEO for a power plant in the subcontinent, in one of the Southeast Asian countries. And there were 3 candidates who were shortlisted. There was one candidate whom we all kind of liked. The likability factor came through because he had empathy, he had leadership, he had a collaborative style which came through. Then in the referrals, we heard that he was sacked from his previous employment because there was some sort of a scam and he was implicated in it. We asked him for the story and he explained the story to us, and we realized that he was part of a scapegoat of a government political manipulation and collaboration. Our chairman said, can you get a reference from your ex-boss? And that man in that interview, and I think that is the bravest moment that I've heard, that he said, no, sir, I will not ask him for a reference now, because that is like putting him under pressure to refer me. You have to choose me for my own standing. If you choose me, I will ensure that I get a reference from him. There was a silence across the panel. And then we realized that here we had a person who had the moral strength to stand up. Of course, we hired him. The previous boss gave such a glowing reference that it still remains one of the most memorable moments for me as an HR person. So when I look at all of you who are looking out for a change, looking out for your first job, looking out for your next change in the job, don't forget. Build up the person whom you want to be from today onwards. Be the manager that you want to be from today onwards. Be the person, the leader that you want to be from today onwards, not to wait for the day that you will become one. Over to you, Master of Ceremonies.